Hello learners, my name is Surbhi Tandon and the module named Terms Used in Broadcast Journalism will help you get well acquainted with the common terminologies used in broadcast journalism and the newsroom of the news television channels. The module will help the learners to function and operate in a newsroom effectively. Terms used in broadcast journalism. First, actuality. In radio production, it refers to voices, sounds, and other audio material of something which is taking place in reality or actuality. There could be market sounds, loudspeakers, traffic sounds, or any sounds that run in the background. Sometimes these sounds are also referred to as ambient sounds. They provide a feel or the audio evidence of reporting from the real location. These are sounds recorded out of the studio setup. In television production, it is sometimes called sync. Many times, a live report from a particular site can also be called by the same nomenclature. Ad lib. It is a Latin term meaning at one's pleasure. It is non-scripted part that a broadcaster adds on his or her own spontaneously. It can be a comment, an anecdote, or an unscripted talk, or maybe a short story that the presenter or the broadcaster adds on his or her free will. It is not a part of the written script, which was created for the show or bulletin. It gives a voice or identity to the broadcaster and adds a personal touch. Angle. It is the perspective from which the journalist has decided to cover the story and develop it further. There are various dimensions in a story. Journalists can choose to highlight only one or two prominent aspects based on news value. It is also called the peg or the hook. For example, the story of a new government scheme can be done on the basis of the impact it would create on the citizens, whether it is a populist measure before the elections by the government. Atmos or ambient sound. The background sounds captured by the camera or recorders while covering a story from the location of the happening. These stories could be slogans, portion of speeches, vehicle noises. Announcer introduction. The short introduction or portion of the news script that leads into the main news story. It is a short and crisp introduction for the viewers before the actual story begins. In feature stories, it introduces a segment of the story. Auto cue or teleprompter. It is a device that allows the anchor or the presenter on television to read the script without looking down at the script. It is usually placed below the camera. It is a system of mirrors and angled glasses where the script is placed and scrolls down at a particular speed, comfortable for the anchor to read and deliver it. Background. It is the information required to understand the event or the happening. It is not the actual event but facilitates the understanding of the audiences. In print media, such stories are known as backgrounders. Beat. The specialized area of journalism that a reporter covers on a regular basis. He or she has the in-depth knowledge about the domain or subject. He or she can easily comment on the developing story of the area. The journalist has already well established sources in that domain and remains in touch with them to get news or comments. Some of the important beats are political, sports, health, science, business, defense. Even in this beats, there are subsections like a particular reporter would be covering a news and events related to the single political party and have good relations with the office bearer of the party. Breaking news or news flash. It is the information of a story that is developing or happening in real time. Many times, news channels do not have a footage or video material to explain the story which is still developing. It interrupts the news bulletins or the pre-finalized rundown of the news stories and reactions are taken on the story. The reactions or the comments on the story can be gathered from an expert of the field or channel's own reporters belonging to the beat. Sometimes a phone in are taken up after the announcement of the breaking news. Bidirectional mics. These microphones capture sounds from both the ends, that is, front and rear. It is in contrast to the unidirectional microphones, capturing the sounds from one end, and omnidirectional microphones that capture sound from all sides. Bulletin. It is a set of news stories that are selected and organized on the basis of their importance and news values that are run on a regular pattern and timings. It generally begins with the hard news stories related to politics, parliamentary sittings or legislations, economy, and leads to the softer stories of human interest. In most cases, they end with the weather reporting. Broadcast. Transmission of audio or video packages to a large number of persons at the same time, usually through satellites. It is in contrast to the narrowcasting, which is transmitted on a smaller number of people in a limited geographical area. Many a times, narrowcasting is aimed at a special community like students or farming community. Bite or a sound bite. It is a short comment from a prominent personality or cut out from a long interview of prominent news personality or the person in news that is relevant for the news story.